Welcome everybody. Welcome to round number 7 of Idle Division. Today we are racing around Abu Dhabi. Just going to go through our championship standings real quick. So drivers, we've got Lil Jim and James level on points at the top with 200 each. Then we've got Helvius Gemini's P3 with 179 points. Then we've got Ben in P4 with 155, 1 point ahead of LX Tractor, who's in P5. Rob Bailey in P6, Dizzy P7. Then we've got Neo P8 with 110, 6 points ahead of Horsepower Gaming, who was 2 points up from Big Blondie. Bottom half now. The HA Father with 92 points in P11. We've got David in P12 with 80. Third P13 with 72. Names Jeff with 70 points in P14. Chris Downs P15. Gav P16. Sirth P17. Ronnie P18. 2 points behind Sirth. Evan P19. Marco P20 and Greg Campbell rounding off the grid with 20 in P21. Constructors, Alpine leading the way by 11 points on Haas. Then we got Sauber in a bit of no man's land in P3. Then we got Racing Bulls at 256, also in no man's land. Then we got an interesting battle between McLaren, Williams, Red Bull and Aston Martin, which could heat up towards the end of the season for P5 there. Aston Martin P8, 30 points, just over 30 points clear of Ferrari. And then Mercedes are bottom of the standings. So, thank you for joining me for the championship standings. I will head into quali shortly, so I'll see you there. As always, we will hop on board with the first drive out on track. Balls. Let's have a look at this. Hope everyone is doing very well. Hello, Lamaduk. How are we? Which lovely driver we got on track. It is Roarinson. Nice to hear, man. I don't know whether they keep the telemetry on or not. What do you think? Telemetry on or off? Yeah, I think they did. I think it was Greg. Jack, yo. All good, Jack. As we watch Roarinson go onto his lap. Obviously, on the run into turn 1 we go. Left-hander. No, not today, Jack. Just little old me. I'm going to make a party real quick. 2 seconds. Here comes Roarinson down the back straight, the very long back straight, of course, into turns 6 and 7. No pun intended. Don't even dare. Used quite a lot of battery so far as Raw. As he rounds turn 9. Along swooping left-hander into the last sector of the track, the very windy third sector, I must say. Another hotel we go through turns 13 and 14. Very tricky off camber corners, very easy to run a little bit wide and exceed track limits on your lap. Around turn 15 and 16 to finish his lap. Here comes Roarinson to the line, and it's a 24.9, which course puts him first for now. Here comes Horsepower Gaming, rounding the final turn, biking with a 23.6. What's it going to be for horsepower? It's going to be 24.4. It's quite a short run to the line from the final corner. We've got Serthco P2 with a 24.2. So here we look towards the pole favourite, James. Let's see what he can do. Thomas with a 23.3 goes in the lead. Goes on provisional pole so far, just out of his teammate, as James goes to the top of the stands with a 23 flat. Have a look at Endorling. His first race with us, so let's see how he gets on. I would be more than happy to do that, Ollie, if you're willing to do it. On the final corner he goes. Dolan to the line, goes with a 22.8. Goes on provisional pole ahead of James. Very interesting stuff. Comes Chris Downs. Oh, as he keeps within track limit. P11 with a 24.7. See what we've got in the lap. Right, we've got Tractor. Go around the penultimate corner. In at the final turn. Here he goes. The P4 with a 23.5, not too shabby from the decal. When Mikey gets out of the way of Helvius Geminus. The man sat in P3 in the standing so far. Hello Expo. Around turn 40 we go. Obvious with a 23.7, just behind his teammate by about 9 or 11 hundredths of a second. Right, triple comms is a bit extreme, Jack. That'll be chaos. I might get the first second. Right, we'll get on board with Neo. Oh, I'm not sure if he's on a lap or not, considering the battery usage, but we'll sharp find out. If not, we will get on board with David. Hello, Crofty! So we have Neo on the track now. Them chats went very quickly, hold on. Neo to the line with a 24.7, puts him in P14. Don't think that was a legit lap though, I think he's going to use some more battery now. Gibby, I think they look like furries. Exactly what Brandon Miles said as well. I think it's brilliant. You have money now, nice. You got a ball, Mike, quickly. Ah! Oh, I missed him. He goes P12 with a 24.3. Got Rollins on another outlap. See if we can catch someone. I think everyone's done so far. 10 minutes left to go. We'll get on board with Thomas then. As he gears up for a second hot lap, currently sat in P3 with a 23.3. Number threes for the Mercedes. Unbelievable, doesn't like you. Don't think it's just the bot. Oh. Lily. Hello. I just realised your name's a big tongue twister to say 3 times, but hello, I hope you're all well. As Thomas rounds the final corner, the corner is second flying lap. I'm doing just fine. How about you? As we look through the first corner towards the Mercedes of Thomas. Help me, I don't work as hard. Through turn 4. He comes. Looked like he was up on his time though. Or we just do stints. We could have like a full-on comms team, that would be quite interesting. I'm rooting for a Greg Campbell pull. I think it's coming. I can feel it in the air. On a nice, chilled-out desert night, I think Greg Campbell's got it in the bag. Comes round turn 8. Turns 9, 10, and 11. As James goes back to the top with a 22.7, 10th ahead of Dolan. So here comes Thomas as he rounds the final couple of corners on this track. What's it going to be for the Mercedes? He's just going to slightly improve. Still on a 23.3 though. His tractor goes ahead of him with a 23.1, so still puts him 3 tenths behind Dolan in P2. Bike can also open his time. Let's see what he can do. Improves by 2.5 tenths, about half a tenth behind his teammate now. Still in P5. As you can see, Ronnie going for a lap. Ben just up on his time, so we'll get on board with the Alpine here. Taking a more wider line, going through this section. As he runs turn 16. Shoots up to P6, improves by about 3 tenths of a second to a 23.5. Nice lap from him. Jacques Karunina. As Ronnie rounds turn 13 and 14. Lost build. Pardon me. As Ronnie slightly improves but does not jump up any places. Hey look, Crofty, we have Aurora Inzin on a lap now. 3 tenths down on his time. That was terrible, wasn't it? I used to be so good at an Indian accent, but sadly it's faded away. Dolan with a 22.6 now takes provisional pole. Can't do it without sounding just heavily like R-word. Jeff now. Rounds turn 13 and 14. Final corner. Here comes Aston Martin. What's it going to be? It is a 24 flat, which puts him into P11, just behind Ferret. Dolan hasn't validated. I think he's on an in-lap. Chris does not look like he's on a lap. I think we've got Mikey gearing up front, so here we go. Mikey now battling down into the first corner. It's a nice bit of curve on the inside. Doesn't mean I can call you Brittany, guys. Two and a half tenths of improvement so far from the kick salver. Taking the esports line down the back straight, as you can see. Into turn 6. Out of 7, 6, 7, 6, 7. Onto the second back straight. Through turn 8 comes Mikey. Into the tricky last sector. I think this is the part of the track where time is there to be gained as we head through turn 13, turn 14 actually. 2 rounds, the final couple of corners. This could be Mikey's last lap, so we'll be hoping for it to be a good one, and it puts him in P9 with a 23.7. I think drivers will be coming off for their final runs now. I don't think Helvius is going to get another lap in as he goes P4 with a 23.2. I've missed that one. Tractor coming out early. Let's get involved with the V-carb as he... I was going to say chases for pole, but he's got half a second again. It's going to be a tough task. Oh, let's hope these cars got out of the way. That was very close. Whoever that was. Nah, James and Dolan are just El Rapido, so I wouldn't worry about them. However, I did see Joe do a 22.7 in practice, so... Through turn 6-7. Onto the back straight with DRS, of course. Barely any barrier again. Yeah, 22 is crazy. I think my best time that I did was a 23.2. And that was just a perfect lap. I couldn't really improve on that. We'll get on board with one of the pole challenges as track around the final corner, see what it's going to be. If we can improve or not. Oh, he just misses out. 0.03 of a second down on his time. Let's get on board with James as he pushes for pole. Yeah, I think so, Jack. I do think so. Yeah, well, as you can see in this one, it'll put you about mid-pack, to be fair, if you can get in the 23s. Here comes James on his push for pole. Can he secure the win? And get the community their coins, them Slipstream coins that are so valuable. Can't wait to gamble them away as soon as I get them. Well, if he wins. As you can see, 0.06 of a second down in his time so far through the first sector. 7 watching the stream. Don't forget to hit a follow and subscribe to the Twitch as well. YouTube, Instagram and TikTok as well. Slipstream Society League, so get them all followed up. Be much appreciated. It's around turn 7. Comes the Alpine. We'll see if he can improve in the next few seconds. What's it going to be? Oh, he's down on his time, so James needs a brilliant last sector here. He's sticking on pole. After dominating the last 2 races, has he finally met his match with the new Red Bull on the scene? Oh, as he runs very wide there and loses the back end and he goes off the track. I don't think this is going to be pole for James. That looked like a lot of lost time and he does box. James aborts his lap. Here comes Dolan, who looks guaranteed pole position here. Let's see if he can still improve on his time. Viking goes P3 with the 23 flat. That's a very good lap from the Mercedes there. Very clutch. So here comes Dolan around the final corner. And he improves to a 22.5 and takes pole position for the Abu Dhabi Grand Prix. Very nice lap. And Blondie is not the lap, so that will bring us to an end. Bring the qualifying to an end. There's your grid, so we've got Doling on pole, James P2, still on the front row. We've got Viking and Tractor on the second row. Neil improved to P5, Tobias Gemmas P6, Thomas Gangas P7, David P8, Serthan P9, Ben P10, Ferret in P11, Ronnie in P12, Mikey P13, Blondie 14th, Horsepower 15th, Jeff 16th, Ross 17th, Gab 18th, and Chris Downs and Greg Campbell rounding out our grid. Yeah, fair enough, Gav. Not sure why the Lord himself didn't set a lap time down in P20. Not too sure what happened there. How's the weather been for you? Well, I haven't been outside today, but I've heard it's been hailstoning. Ooh. Bit windy as well. So there is your classification. Very scary. Ooh. It's got a lot in the low 23s. It's a very competitive grid, this one. Of course, you got the top two a few tenths clear of the rest, but this is looking to be a very interesting Abu Dhabi race. So you can see Rory did his time on mediums. Not sure why I done that. Very interesting from the Williams. And I'll get back to you lot for the race. As here we go to 5 red lights for the Abu Dhabi Grand Prix. It's lights out and we are underway. Dolan gets a good start, so does James, the top two as they were. We've got Tractor making a move on Viking up into P3 in the V-Carb now. Dolan's streaking away already by about half a second. So we look back towards David on the back of Thomas going into turn 4 now. Nice clean start. Got the Ferrari of Greg Campbell just getting caught up in the back there. Dolan leads the way into turn 6. Horsepower gets out of Roar Inns. Oh, there's a lot of squabbling going on here. Oh, and there's a car that goes wide. That is Viking off the track. And Hobby's Gemini says thank you very much, and he's going to have a look at Viking as well here. Going into turn 8. Can he get the outside line for the next corner? He's going to go for it, mind. He's going to try and send it around the outside. Goes the Haas. Looks like he just has to settle in behind the Merc. Never mind, Viking's got a bad exit now. Into the dodgy sector 3. There's a little bit of contact with the do stay side by side. Can Hobby's Gemini get the move into the last sector? Going through turn 14. Oh, there's a bit of contact again. Hobby's has pushed wide and through goes the McLaren of Neo. What a battle to open up this race. Flat 1, lads. Dolan 6 tenths out in front. Let's get the tyres up. As you can see, Neo on the hards. Ooh. And David's gone for a move on Hobby's Gemini, who's gone wide. So the Haas dropping another place on the Sauber, who's also on the hard tyres. Let's get back towards the battle for the lead though. DRS on the slap, of course, for James. And also Tractor, who's right on the back of the Alpine. So we're going to pull down this very long straight. James can't quite get close enough. I've got the battle behind. Looks like there's an Alpine going for a move there. That is Ben. Looking for a move on Sirth. Can't quite get the move done though. Look how close it is back here. We're going to look back towards the lead. James can't get a move done, but here goes Neo. Gets ahead of Viking into turn 8. So the McLaren now up in a P4. Very nice move from the McLaren indeed. Here goes Chris Downs on Ronnie. Lets him go through though. There it looks down the inside of the Red Bull. Ooh. And Gava's just absolutely threaded the needle on horsepower gaming there. That was a brilliant move from the Ferrari. Our new subscriber. Love to see it. Jeff looks like he's had a bit of a slow start because he's fallen behind Greg Campbell. We hope to get that place back soon. Both Astons having a tough start to this race. Ooh, and Viking has got a move done. I wonder if there's a bit of DRS games going on already from Neo there. Yeah. You don't need to be joking, Lily, I agree. Off the lead, is this going to heat up? No, James just sits behind. David is also already ahead of Neo. Over to P5, goes to Sauber now. And he get a run on Viking going into turn 8. On exit is right on the rear of the Mercedes. I think this will be a very straightforward move, and it is. David up in a P4. Neo's going to follow him through though. So Viking loses 2 places at once there. Both hard runners up in a P4 and P5. Viking has to drop behind. Helvius Gemini still in this battle. Thomas just hanging on to DRS. Yeah, I might do, Lily. Hopefully the VCs are sorted by then. Battle for the lead. Still about a second that separates the top 3. James needs a good run. Out of turn 5. As you can see, the gap between the top 3 and the rest of the field, 4 seconds now, because of all that battling within the first 4 laps of this race. So this top 3 are streaking away all on the mediums compared to those on the hards there. James got a good run on the red, but he looks way too far back to warrant a move here. Into turn 6 on the exit 7 we go. Always Viking and Neo side by side going through turn 6, a bit of contact. Let's see who comes out on top of this battle. This has really benefited David, as you can see. Both drivers still have DRS though. Side by side now going into turn 8. Still a little bit of wheel banging, but Neo does come out on top. No change at the lead. As Ben moves up to P8 now, he has done Seth. And Thomas Gangas, who was dropping like a stone all the way down the field, as you can see, down to P12 now. Just Rollets him back past, he must have had an illegal overtake or something. Ooh, that looked close between Ronnie and Raw. As we swoop under the hotel. Yeah, Thomas lost a lot of places on that last lap there. I think he was up in P8. Gap forming between 6th and 7th. The 2 numbers just go together so well, don't they? Everything's always 6 and 7. Ugh, so brainwashed. Lily, to be fair, I can't even see anything I've said every 5 times in the stream already. 6/10 between the top 2. Rollins and with a move on Thomas. Got a yellow flag. And Jeff is going slowly. Must have had a little bit of an oopsie going down the hill. Here comes Thomas on Raw Rinzen. Into turn 6 we go. Raw swoops around the outside to the inside for the next turn, but does compromise his exit, and Thomas could have a good run now into turn 8. Tractor has indeed been dropped by the top 2. As we look back towards his battle. Can Ronnie follow him through here? On the exit, Raw is still there and still hangs around the outside. A very nice, some good car placement from the Williams. Oh, and Raw's absolutely punted Ronnie off track and has also hit the Mercedes of Thomas Gangas there. And Raw's lost a lot of places because of it. Luckily for Thomas and Ronnie, they both kept their places. Raw getting a little bit caught up though. As I don't know who that is coming into the pits. It's Big Blondie in P14. I think James might have made a little bit of a mistake, because Tractor is now back in this battle. He was out with DRS before, now he's comfortably within that DRS range. Did he get DRS? He did. That means James has deploying as much battery as he can down the straight. Could see a move here. Looks like Greg Campbell's going slow in sector 1. This is going to be a good battle between David and Neo. I can already feel it. James cannot get close enough to Dolan. Here goes Neo with DRS now. Gets ahead of David up in the P4 he goes. Could have a battle between Ronnie and Thomas Gangas here. Going into turn 8. Ronnie has a little bit of a look down the inside of the Mercedes. Oh! The Mercedes does go wide and through goes the Haas. Can he keep it on exit though? He does. Ronnie up on a P8. P11, sorry. On the hard tyres. Brighton gets a 3 seconds from up the warnings. Yeah, some great racing in this opening stage of the race. James check on the back of straight, let's have a quick look. Very tricky move there, we're into turn 9. 10 and 11. So Chris Downs is going to have a look on Thomas now into turn 1. You never really see a move at turn 1. Both side by side, a little bit of contact and exit, and Chris does get the move done. Open a P12, goes the Red Bull of Chris Downs. Let's go back to this lead battle between Dolan and James. The lead has not changed once in this race. James has just been settled in behind as Robinson gets out of Thomas now. They're both still side by side with each other. We'll get on board as James has really mucked up his exit there. Here comes Robinson. Oh my word, Chris Downs in the middle of them. Oh, there's contact! Oh my word! And Chris Downs nearly got sent into a spin on the straight. Someone's taken that place. I think he's got a legal overtake of some sort. That could have been very bad. That could have been a safety car there. That was very close. Oh my word. Back there. I think Chris Downs is just an absolute passenger there. Both cars tried to go either side of him, and he just got sandwiched. Good save from Chris Mine. Very good save. I think our race leader comes into the pits for a set of hards. I'm not sure if they'll go at the end. 21 laps he's got to do on them. Interesting strategy call. Well, former race. Oh, was he hit the wall on the pit exit there. Thomas has also pitted for for hards. Off the mediums onto the hards. Seth now with a run on the back of Ben. Gets the pass up in a P7. David's still on the back of Neil. This battle still being resumed. Here comes Ben. I think he's going to get close enough here. Might get on the back as well. 3-way battle for P7 currently. Let's get on board with Dorling as he's on the back of Ronnie now by about half a second. He'll be hoping to get this move done ASAP. One at the gap between the two leaders as well. Ooh, is he going to force his way down the inside? He doesn't. He's going to stick behind through the windy sector 3s. This is going to not benefit whatsoever. James does stay out though. Oh, and we've got a spin! And Ronnie hits the barrier and gets wing damage. Let's hope he avoid a safety car, because that would really not benefit Darling whatsoever. And we do avoid a safety car. I'm assuming Ronnie will come to the pits though to fix that front wing. Unfortunate circumstances for the Haas. Darling now up in the P7 already. Of course, a lot of pit stops happening in the midfield. But Ben, Helvius Gemini also in the pits, biking as well. So that the battle between David and Neo. 6/10 the gap between these two. Lap 9 out of 29, so we've got 20 laps to go. It's been a solid race so far, got a good battles to watch. It's obvious Geminis and Viking are side by side, going out turn 7 now. And Viking will have DRS into turn 8. This is going to get close on entry here. Viking with the inside line. Is Harvey's going to go for the outside. He does just settle in behind. Can he get a better exit than the Mercedes? So running into turn 11. I don't think he is. Gonna have a little look, but thanks, Lily. I'm trying to avoid saying that. Oh, Dollar makes a move on Mikey into turn 1 there. So it must have been a bad exit from Sauber, and the Red Bull capitalised. Have a look at the gap between the leader and Dolan's 14.5 seconds. Wow, some incredible pace shown by the Red Bull. That is going to be a significant gap when James inevitably pits in this one. We've got a yellow flag for, I think that's a Haas. It is. Oh, it's obvious Geminis who's round on the exit of turn 1. Let's hope he's avoided damage there. And he hasn't. He's got front wing damage, as you can see on the Haas. He was doing really well in this race and is now fallen behind after a pit stop. Maybe he's got a bit of rear wing damage or something, or underbody. His car's all over the place. Oh, David made a move on Tractor there. Neo and David have got ahead of Tractor. I did not see that coming. Wow. Tractor was in that lead battle and he's fallen right back into these two. The hard tyres, of course, being the much better tyre at this stage. I wonder if Tractor's going to come in, and he does. Into the pits comes the V-carb now. Let's hope for a good pit stop. Any fastest lap set by Dolan, absolutely on the charge to these top 3 now. Only 6 seconds behind David, who was still yet to pit. So I think Dolan could be, if he can get them tyres to the end, he's looking dead set for a very dominant victory. What we'll see later on. That's unlike Dolan. Tractor avoids the wall in the pit exit. Gets out just in front of Viking there. And David has fallen out with Neil's DRS by the looks of things. Jeff on the back of F1 Gav. Let's hope his Geminis retires in the pit lane. P3 in the championship out of this race. After his spin at turn 1. Ben also involved in this battle between Gav and James. And Ben looking very... he's darting down the straight into turn 8. Is he going to go for a move on Jeff here? And he gets the double pass up to P9. It goes the Alpine of Ben. Very nice move on the fresh tyres. I think that was a very crucial move for him. As Jeff and Gav resume their battle. Going through sector 3. David comes into the pits. Onto the mediums, which will not make the end. 17 laps on them is outrageous, so I think this will be indeed a 2-stop race for most of the grid. I think James is looking to try and do a 1-stop. Viking on the back of David. David just comes out the pits just in front of the Mercedes. Tractor has indeed jumped David in the pits. After getting passed by on the lap before. Here comes Viking with DRS. Can he go for a move on David? Into turn 6. Lily's favourite corner, I'm sure. On XE you can see the grip that them new medium tyres have on this Sauber as he darts away on the exit. And I'm sure while this is happening, Madge is getting into the groove. As we see Blondie on the back of Gav going through turn 8. And we have James and Neil coming to the pits, who monitor their pit stops. from McLaren, of course, puts on the mediums. James puts on the hards. So Darling now leads the race by a significant amount of time, though. You can see him going through turn 5 while James exiting the pits. Wow! What an undercut from Darling there. 14 seconds he has gained on James in about 6 laps. Mental. So you can see how close Tractor and David are. David will probably get the move done with DRS here. Down the back straight. I don't know which one is the back straight. There's 2. Back straight 1 and back straight 2. There we go. Neo gets the pass. Hi Joe. Nice of you to join us. Oh, that was close between Gavin and Blondie. Blondie gets a move up to P10. We've got a 3-way battle for P3. James will be hoping to pull away from these and move on to overtake Sirth. That's no worries. The race has been good so far. Some good battling going on. New fastest lap for David as he moves within half a second of James, who has now found his way onto the back of Sirth and Williams. Yet to pit, of course. When you look for moving to turn 5, he does go down the inside. Goes the joint championship leader and gets the pass. David is probably going to follow him through here, as you can see in the background. And I'll tell you what, David's going to have a good run on. It's not quite to be fair. Get close to these. Lily with a sub! Woo! Thanks, Lily! You are a legend! 4 subs on the channel now. Lovely to see. Thanks so much, Lily. You absolute hero! Oh my word, we've got some ghosted cars here. We've got Neo and Tractor inside of each other. Going through Sector 3. Some very interesting scenes going on in Abu Dhabi. They're still Neo side by side. Appreciate it, Lily, man. Means a lot. And they could have a move. But Neo and Tractor here, good battle going on between the V-Cob on the hards and Neo on the mediums. Of course, in the McLaren. Can't speak. P at the standings currently. GBM Jack is back. What is the crack? Don't you know? Well said, Joe. I know. Darling did not want to make us any money, the bastard. How dare he? Can I remove my vote? James wasn't lying when he said that Dolan would ruin our hopes. Thanks, Lily. Who is this guy? It's his first race. Looking to convert a very impressive pole position into a win. He gained a whole 14 seconds in 6 laps on an undercut there on James, which I've never seen before, especially on James, who's absolutely dominated the last 2 races. In Hungary and I think it was Qatar. So what you're saying there, Jag, is Neo's got a hairy chest. Okay. It could be David, could be Tractor, who knows? Could be any of these three. Here comes David on the back of the McLaren. I don't think he's going to go for a move. He's going to set himself up for a good exit out of turn 7. Darling set a 22.5, I think it was. 22.5, 22.4, one of them. We are in a battle for who has a hairy chest. Sweet, man. 13 laps to go, so we are over halfway in this race. This tractor gets ahead of David. So Neil is currently leading the race for who has a hairy chest. I hope these don't watch the race back and go, why the fuck is the commentator talking about me having a hairy chest? Don't worry, it's not me, it's GBM Jack. GBM Jack wants to know who has a hairy chest, not me. Let's stop talking about hairy chests. Seth makes a move on horsepower game up into P12. I'm trying to speak like Eminem, but my brain's not quick enough. Hey, do Jack. Don't shoot the messenger. Chris Downs has retired in the pit lane. It's unfortunate for the Red Bull. Another battle between Viking and Raw. Viking just pitted for the second time in this race, so is Ben. He's also made a move on horsepower game up into P11 now. I don't think Raw is really going to be able to have a scrap with Viking, of course. He was on the new tyres. As here comes our race leader Darling into the pits. Can James drag them tyres to the end? He's looking at about doing 15 laps on the hards. I think that is doable, mind. 15, 16 laps. I think that is definitely doable between for James. Tractor as well. Mikey with a penalty. Tractor still on the back of Neo. Looks like Jack, man. Tractor, what you don't want to know what Jack just said. He said you're currently in pole position to have a hairy chest. 10 laps to go in this race. Ooh. Who's going to come on top? Going into turn 8. If I can make some move on his teammate, up in a P7. Tractor currently sits behind Neil. That goes off the road. Darling finds himself on the back of David. Whoa, Jack, don't be a snitch. As David lets Darling go, he does not want to fight the absolute freight train in the Red Bull. This man has some pace on him. Could we see a late title push from the man himself? I mean, there's still about 5-6 races left. You're practicing Junior now. Or were you doing the Russell where he sat on the chair with his eyes closed going through Silverstone? Oh, there's a move. Could be an idea for a new division. Sleep racing. I'm sure Billy would win that. Sirth gets out of his teammate up in the P8. Got this three-way battle for P2 now. Doling on the back of these. Tractor comes in, that's Neo actually, into the pits. This is going to be a very simple move for Doling into turn 1. And he gets the pass on Tractor as he now sets his eyes onto the Alpine of James. Can he catch him towards the end of this race? 8 laps to go. I think he's looking the favourite to win. But I don't think James is going to give it up. He wants to win the coins for the boys. Get the coins in. I've got one objection to that, Jeff. Is everyone has to be on PlayStation. Because you can't. Yeah, but I don't think Ollie and Lily are, so it would be a bit of a problem. Because you can't stream Discord audio to Twitch. Lily is alright. Okay. Unless Ollie's just there in spirit. I mean. And a new fastest lap for Doling as he is absolutely on the charge. We're going to stick on board with the Red Bull as that gap just comes down. A few tenths a corner. Gap now 5 seconds with 7 laps to go. He's absolutely looking the favourite, as you can probably see James going through turn 5. Yeah. This gap down to 3.8. Nice one, Expo. I really needed that information in my day. 3.2 the gap. I think Doling is dead set on a P1 here. James opting for the one stop, but I think it's going to cost him. David with a new fastest lap. Down in P6. He's looking for a move on Viking. Got a nice battle in the midfield between Blondie and Jeff. I need to stick on board with Darling though, as he's catching every lap. Let's look back towards David. Just goes onto the back straight. Thing is though, a commentary team for what division though? Because all of these are in Tier 1, so I don't think that's going to happen. Tier 1 is David very close to the head of operation. Yeah. Here goes David. Move into P5. Darling now just on the verge of DRS on James. He has caught him so quickly. I do race on Sundays though. The only one, I think Wednesday is a safe bet because none of us are racing in it. This is the Unk division, you know. Just offended Ferret. Oh dear. Ferret, I did not call you Unk. Don't hurt me. Rather Natalie or Danica Patrick. I know who I'd rather be. Oh, big squirm on exit from Darling. Maybe them tyres are starting to scream, of course. It's been pushing for a long time. 5 laps to go. You're getting sacked in the morning. .2 seconds the gap between the top two. I'm sure I'm missing a lot of great midfield battles, but I think this is the battle to watch at the moment. I wish Eddie Howe got sacked in the morning. The fucking useless bastard. Sorry. Just letting my thoughts be known. 8 tenths between these two. Darling will have DRS for the first time in this stint. Alexa plays Skyfall now. This is the end. Hold your breath and count to 10. Here he comes with DRS on James. He is 4 tenths back, and I don't think he's going to be close enough to go from even to 10.6. So we'll have to get the exit on 7.6, 7.6. And he does have a much better exit than James. And here he goes with DRS now. This is going to be a very simple pass. Darling moves into the lead of the race. Successful chase on the Alpine with 4 laps to go. And he's looking dead set for a win. And James has lost his coins. Tractor's been on them tyres for 14 laps. Let's keep it that way. Viking still on the back. And Crofty, Lily. How can you forget Crofty? Or Murray Walker. And there's Hill! The Hill's going slowly. No, let's not do Murray Walker, that hurt my voice. And it's lights out and away we go! Is that clock? Is that clock going slowly? Through goes Joe! We had that in spin. Actually, we had it in this race. Through goes Ben. Oh, we've got a spin. Don't know who it is. I think it's Ronnie in Sector 3, and it is. You can see hot on ghosts. Is there any damage? This could be a Latifi moment. No, Mikey, no, Mikey, that was so not right. There's running boxes. Oh, what have I just got myself in here? Here we go. Greg Campbell inside at the Williams. Let's see it. Running boxes to retire. Like Viking and David are going to give us the battle to the end of this race. Here we go into turn 8. Oh, very close on the entry. So, still side by side. And the Mercedes of Viking is sent into a half spin after a game physics crash, I must say. As he got sent round. Now we'll lose him a heap of time. I'll say now, he's only lost about a second. Oh my word, what a battle. On the exit of turn 7, Thomas goes for a pass on Blondie. But he doesn't have DRS and Blondie does into turn 8. And Blondie come out on top. Oh, it's going to be close. And Thomas gets through into P11. Towards Vale now. Perez goes off the track, catches the cane, of course, the clean through goes Hamilton. Got about just over 2 laps to go. Here comes horsepower. And you get a run at turn 1 on the outside of Blondie. Oh, there's a bit of contact and might send Blondie a little bit wide. Horsepower gets the 3 seconds for that warning that we just seen. Oh, and he goes on the inside line. Oh my word, this is very close. Going into turn 5, Blondie saving the battery through. Down the inside goes Horsepower Gaming. Alongside the V-car of Blondie on exit. I think Horsepower is going to have DRS. So Blondie needs to hope he saves some battery. And Horsepower gets the pass. Up into P12. Goes the Aston Martin. It's kind of the only battle we've got, really. The race has settled down. Blondie's still on the back of Horsepower. Oh dear. Very turd. Spoke too soon. Here comes Neo. Can he go for a penultimate lap charge on the LX Tractor here? Oh, my shoulder. Half a second the gap between the McLaren and the V-Carb. Here comes Neo. Ooh, Tractor moves to the inside very aggressively there. But Neil swoops through into turn 6-7. Way. Why is the chicanes in F1 always 6-7? I just don't get it. Oh, David gets a 3 seconds, so his battle for Viking has just been made even more difficult. That could shoot Ben up to P5. We've got a yellow flag for a Mercedes. I think it's Thomas Gangas. Oh, it's not. It's not Viking. Who is that? I don't know who it is. And Neo, if you do watch back this stream, JBM Jack says you've got a hairy chest. No mate, just let the JBM Jack said. Don't shoot the messenger. Could have a battle in our hands. And look at the gap that Darling's pulled. he overtook James with 5 laps to go, and now the gap's 16 seconds. I know, I've just realised that. That is absolutely mental. 15 seconds, what a domination. He could be. We've got the new Yarno up here in Slipstream. Looks like the man to beat. If I can get close enough to David, I don't think he is. Yeah, James has lost a heap of time. As here comes Dolan, who rounds a final corner to take the win in Abu Dhabi. What a dominant display from the Red Bull. He breaks everyone's hearts as he rips the coins out of everyone's hand. Ooh, did James have damage there? Oh yeah, it would have been. Yeah, that was James in the last sector that I missed. Oh my word. So James had that spin in sector 3, and that's why he's got the damage. But he will still come home for B2 as he spins across the line. Oh my god, into the wall. And Neo gets on the podium for McLaren. I'm not going to say what Jack is thinking right now. Tractor comes home for a very nice P4 after doing 19 laps on them hards. David claims P6 as Ben jumps David and Viking there into P5, of course, with the time penalty. Time penalties. As Mikey rounds the final corner to claim P9 in this race. Rawrins and on the soft tyres for 7 laps is a very, very impressive stint. And he gets P10. Oh my god! Blondie has binned it on the final lap. Can Ferret get through? There's a lot of damage, mind. Ferret's got damage. Blondie's got damage. Blondie still finishes in P12. Ferret drops to P14 with penalties. And my name's Chef rounds the final corner and crosses the line. Undisputed hairy chest champion name. That caps off a very intriguing, action-packed Abu Dhabi race for Adult Division Round 7. It's a very fun race. Oh shit. Probably. Have a look at your race classification. Yeah, so join me next week for Silverstone, round 8. There is your race results for Abu Dhabi. Darling takes the win in a very dominant display of 20 seconds, all pit stop clear of P2 of James, who had an accident in Sector 3. Thank you, Gavin Lilly, for your subscriptions. It's much appreciated, you lot. As the channel grows, and Slipstream at the same time. So, thank you, everybody, for joining me today. I'm going to end the stream now, so thanks for coming, everyone, and peace!